Hello everyone, I'm Omkar. I'm building SuperDocs, an AI document editor that edits documents directly inside the document, not in the chat window, not in the sidebar, inside the document. SuperDocs is available three ways. First, as a free web app at superdocs.app. But along with being a consumer app, SuperDocs is also available as a developer tool. SuperDocs has an API that you can integrate with your products in less than 15 minutes, which will turn your product into cursor for documents in less than 15 minutes. SuperDocs also has an MCP server which you can connect with your AI in less than 5 minutes, giving your AI the necessary tool that it needs to edit documents. Few days ago, I posted on LinkedIn saying that SuperDocs can turn your product into cursor for documents in less than 15 minutes. I had said in less than 1 hour, but since then, I have streamlined my entire integration process so much so that now it only takes 15 minutes. And I wanted to show you a demo of how. I have taken one of the most used what you see is what you get editors available on the web. It is used by New York Times, it is used by The Guardian, it is used by Atlassian, the makers of Jira across their entire product stack. It is used by TipTap, which is another popular text-based editor, which is built on top of ProseMirror. It is also used by companies like GitLab and it is used by Stack Overflow. If you have used internet recently, it is highly likely that you have touched ProseMirror somewhere. Now, this is a very general text-based editor. You can type things here, but there is no AI integrated here. You cannot have your AI edit text inside the ProseMirror. It is just a general open source text-based editor that you can download and use in your own products. So what we are going to do now is we're going to use SuperDocs to turn this into cursor for documents in less than 15 minutes. So how do we do that? First step, into your code repository where you want to write this code, launch a new instance of a decent coding agent. In my case, I'm using Claude, and I'm going to turn the model with max thinking effort. I'm using Opus 4.7. You can use any AI if you want to. I have used Cursor, I have used Windsurf, and I have used smaller models as well, but don't use too small. Use decent coding models. They don't make that much mistakes. Second, you go on superdocs.app, you go into the developers section, you go into developer docs, and then you scroll down to the guides and click on the integration starter prompt and copy this prompt. Now, this prompt has instructions for your coding agent, which will help your coding agent figure out what SuperDocs is. It will instruct your coding agent to go through your own code base, go through files like claude.md, agents.md, readme.md. It will instruct your coding agent to read the documentation, understand the code base with the context of SuperDocs in mind, and it will instruct your code base, instruct your coding agent to figure out the best possible integration pathway to integrate SuperDocs and SuperDocs' flow into your product and your product's flow. It has three stages in the instructions. First is context absorption. Second is proposing pathway and awaiting approval from you. And third is implementation, that is actually coding. And it is mostly able to implement everything in a single shot. So this prompt is all you need. We might encounter some bugs here and there, more than one or two, but less than 3 or 4. And we will fix them after the one shot implementation, whatever it comes up with. But most of the implementation this prompt covers. Now, what we need to do is we need to just paste the prompt in the coding agent and we need to let it run. Now, my repository is completely empty. It doesn't have anything except one claude.md file. Now, what does this file have? This file has some basic general description of what the actual end product is going to look like. And I have described what I want to do. I want to install ProseMirror. I want to have a chat window where there is two panes. On the left hand side, there is a ProseMirror editor. On the right hand side, there is the SuperDocs chat, the 70-30 split. I have described what tech stack I want to use. I have described what best practices to follow. I have described what buttons I want and stuff like that. I just spoke through my WhisperFlow model, WhisperFlow system, and I just asked my AI to create this file immediately in 5 minutes, and it has created almost 170 lines, 200 lines of Claude.md file. Now the prompt, as you see, is running, and the first thing it did is downloaded the LLM's file. Now what this file is basically an LLM file of the entire documentation. It is nothing but a comprehensive, a fully integrated version of the entire documentation that we have on the documentation site. You can see this file at the AI integration file button. So you just the AI has just downloaded this text file into the code base, so that it can refer to this file throughout the entire implementation. Now what it will do is it will read the documentation file at the LLM's file, and it will read the claude.md, which is just there right now. In our case, the repository is empty, so it is gonna read only these two files. But in your case, if the code base has the code, if your product is already built, and if the product already has some documentation and other points there in the code base, so it will go through all of it. It will go through documentation, it will go through code. In our case, we are building ProseMirror from scratch, and it's just a simple editor. We are just downloading most of it and installing it, so it's not a huge task. So it works for us. But if your code base has a lot of code, it will take a little bit of time to understand it and propose a pathway. In our case, it just took less than 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and it proposed a pathway for integration. But in any scenario, I cannot imagine it taking more than 5 to 10 minutes if you are using Opus 4.7. That so let's ask it to proceed. But along with asking it to proceed with implementation, we also need to provide it the API key. API key is available for free at superdocs.app. All you need to do is just click on try free button. It will open the web app, and you just need to sign up. Sign up. It takes like a couple of minutes. Once you sign up, you go to the settings page and you go to the API keys tab and you click on create API key. Now just give it name like SuperDocs, something like, I'll just give it integration. And I will just copy this key. Don't worry, I'm going to delete this key, and I'm going to delete this account. This is clearly a throwaway account, but I would not recommend you to put your key on the internet. So yeah. So now it has begun implementing the whole SuperDocs and ProseMirror and all the things that it has proposed building. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fast forward the video from now on till it finishes the implementation. You can, at any point in time, you can pause the video and take a look at what the coding agent is actually coding and what it is building and all of that. But regardless of that, I'm anyway going to upload all of this on GitHub, and you can at any point in time go there and check out the code and check out the implementation and use it as a reference for your own projects and for your own builds. For now, I'm gonna fast forward this video. I don't want you guys to sit through 10 to 15 minutes of me looking at the screen. Okay, as you can see, it has finished coding everything that needs to be coded, and the build is passing. So now it is writing the README documentation, which is basically the last phase, last task that we had in the instructions of the prompt. So it will do that in the next 30 or so seconds. And after that, the app will be ready for us to try. Let's see how much time it takes. I think it has finished most of it. Oh, now it is just the dev server is up and running, and now it is just testing the whole thing, I think, to check if it works or not. But I think, yeah, most of the actual coding is already done. Now it is actually just testing. We can also go ahead and give it a try, but let's see and figure out. Let's see and let's observe what it actually does. Let's see what it actually tests on, and how the whole thing works out, if it finds any bugs or errors. Okay, the core SSE flow is working. Now it is testing the auto approve flow, and after that, I think it will test the human in the loop flow. Um, so yeah, the actual coding is done in less than 15 minutes. Now it is testing. And to be honest, I don't think it is necessary because we're anyway going to test. I don't remember adding instructions on testing in the prompt, but I highly recommend you to read the entire prompt. As I mentioned, that it has three components: context absorption, it has the approval request from your end, so it requests for your approval on whatever the pathway of integration it proposes, and then it has the actual building as well. I'm sure it has testing as well because okay, let's see. So it has all the important parameters that it just uses to write the code. So there are some there are some items that you can manually change. So if you want to use something else, you can just change it here. If you want to use a different editor, you can add. So right now we are using a ProseMirror, so it actively chose ProseMirror. But if we had not provided it with that detail, it would have chosen TipTap. By default, it automatically selects the human via UI, like the human in the loop approval mode, and all of this information. I have set defaults here. It by default creates or understands how the code base is, and it creates an understanding of the code base. And if you are not providing information through Claude.md or through your instructions, it just resorts to the default. Okay, I think it found some error, and it is now fixing that. So yeah, now it is complete. Everything is up and running. The testing is also finished. I am sure uh, yeah, it was conducting the end-to-end test phase, and it has finished testing now. So let's see how it works. Okay, I have asked it to edit the escalation matrix section and expand it a little bit, and it has said that it has expanded the escalation matrix. Let's see what is happening here. The change is taking a bit of time. I think it could be my internet issue. Yeah, I think it is my internet. Let's give it a try. I just changed my internet. Let's try in review mode again. Go through the entire document and fix all the grammar errors. Okay, let's see what it does. So it will now go through the entire document and propose a fix, because it is now in the review mode. So it will propose a fix for our approval, and yeah, there it is. And let's just approve all of them at once. And done. All the proposed changes have now been implemented. There you go. We have taken a ready to deploy editor like ProseMirror that is used across the internet in several different apps and products, and we have connected SuperDocs with it in less than 15 to 20 minutes, and it is completely free to begin with, and you can start with it in less than 30 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes for integration. The whole setup, you can do it in less than 30 minutes. If you want any help, you can directly reach out to me. and I will get on a call with you. We will book a call and I'll get on a call with you and I'll manually personally help you integrate the whole thing with your product. If you want any enterprise grade solution, if you want any custom solution like your own AI on-premises solution, reach out to me and I'll help you out with this. Everything is customizable here and you can integrate it. In the next video, I will show you how to integrate it with your own AI through MCP. So in this video, we just embedded it with a product through API. In the next video, I will show you a demo of MCP as well. In fact, honestly, MCP is much easier than API. You just go here, you generate an MCP key, which is basically a bearer token for authorization so that only you can access the MCP server that you have. And yeah, you just copy this for different apps. If you have your app, there is enough and plenty documentation provided in the developers section on how to integrate MCP as well. And MCP can actually be integrated in less than 5 minutes, and your AI can talk with the MCP server in natural language. It doesn't need to use any tool. It doesn't need to do any complex tool management or tool calls or anything like that. It has very simple tool use, and it can use that tool in natural language. It can instruct the AI through that tool, the AI of SuperDocs through that tool in simple natural language on what to do, and SuperDocs will make the change to the document on average in less than 15 seconds. Okay, there you go. Reach out to me if you need any help with integrating SuperDocs, and I hope to hear from you soon.